just after 8 o'clock in the morning. Sunday, May 27th, 2018, Memorial Day weekend. Our spring sailing vacation on Lake Michigan. Got away from the dock this morning. We don't know for sure when. Sometime after 7 o'clock probably. Headed up to Sturgeon Bay. Right now we're on a beam reach, about 10 to 11 knots apparent wind. Once we round the point, we're going to have the wind behind us, but for the time being we've got main, headsail, and staysail up right now, moving along at 5 knots. Beautiful day, light winds. We're going to motor about 10 miles, or 10 hours rather, excuse me, to Sturgeon Bay. And we thought, we're out here to go sailing. We don't want to motor all the way up there, so we canceled our reservations at the marina and decided to sail all the way to Washington Island. We're going to do an overnighter, arriving there early in the morning if our current speed holds up. Winds are supposed to be light, but in a favorable direction, so. Still Sunday, May 27th, 2018. Our revised sailing plan, we're going to skip Sturgeon Bay today and head for Washington Island because we were moving so slow earlier this morning and motoring due to lack of wind. We weren't going to get into Sturgeon Bay until, well, we'd have gotten in okay during daylight hours, but we'd had to motor all the way up there. And then the wind kind of switched around a little bit, and we thought, well, we'll just take our time and go to Washington Island instead. We'll arrive there in the morning if we sail all night. And typical of the forecast, the winds are not doing anything that they predicted them to do. They're pretty strong out of the northeast now. There's Michi, all bundled up. Winds blowing across Lake Michigan got kind of cool, so we're all wearing our rain gear. It's a beautiful day, except that the visibility has dropped substantially. Also not forecast. 20 years of flying professionally, and I can never remember radiation fog, advection fog, steam fog. This is more of a haze or a heavy mist, but yeah, visibility's down. But we are moving right along, 5.5 to 6 knots. Gonna have to heave to at some point because now we're showing about a 2:30 arrival at Washington Island, and we're not doing Death's Door in the dark, so. Nice day for sailing though. Except that it's cold. We can predict the wind. And we weren't planning on spending a night on the boat, so we have potato chips and fruit and vegetables. That's it. And trail mix. And beer. Sunday, May 28th, Memorial Day 2018. Spent the night on the boat last night. Due to our revised plans to travel up to Door County and Washington Island, instead of going to Sturgeon Bay first. And had quite a few lulls and calms last night. Didn't make a lot of progress, and it's dead calm now, so we're motoring the rest of the way to Washington Island. It'll be a couple more hours before we get there. Alright, there's a death store out there. Recorded remorse or something like that. Door of death. Really wanted to sail through this. Winds were favorable a little while ago, but they veered and pinching. Since I've never been here before, I don't want to have to tack back and forth through this thing, so I think we're just going to haul the sail back down and work through it, especially given the fussy conditions and everything. Nuts.
Bummer. I'm sorry, honey bun.
That's the way it goes. In bad wind direction. There's Pilot Island and Detroit Island behind it. Washington Island over there, of course. There's Plum Island, and I'm sure you can't see it on this with the navigational range. They're going to line up here pretty quickly. And the Northern Door Peninsula. Okay, left Caps Marina in Detroit Harbor on Washington Island about 7 o'clock this morning, sailing over to Cedar River. And probably can't see it on this, but there's a ship down there, and just beyond it is the northern tip of the Door Peninsula. Washington Island back there. Had to motor a little bit this morning because it was calm. I had planned on going to either Fayette or Cedar River today, depending on what the wind and weather was doing. It looks like we chose well. It was supposed to be out of the east, the wind's right out of the north, so we'd have been beaten to windward had we gone to Fayette. As it is right now. On a reach. Actually freshened quite a bit. It wasn't supposed to be this breezy, so we're glad for it. We've been motoring a lot on this trip so far. Not much sailing. Just about 15 miles across Green Bay. I think we got about 14 left on the meter. Whaleback Shoal is right in our way, so we're deviating a little to the north to miss that. And it's supposed to rain and thunderstorm this afternoon, so we're hoping to get over there before all that starts. A little cool on the water, but not terrible. Michi driving. Hey, Michi. It is Thursday, May 31st, 2018. Just departing Cedar River. (7:01). Seems to be our typical departure time. Other than a little bit of fog, it's a beautiful morning. It's clearing up now. Supposed to have favorable winds up to Fayette, Snail Shell Harbor, at least on the lower bay this morning. Sounds like the winds are going to start to die down once we get a little bit further north, which is typical for us. So we did have a nice day of sailing after some relatively calm winds after leaving Washington Island. Well, same day on our way to Fayette, out on Green Bay. Got the sails up, and it's a little froggy this morning, patchy. I think it's going to come and go through the morning hours today. So got the sails up on a broad reach. You're so cute. You can't contain yourself, can you?
Just what I wanted. Picture of me.
Picture of you fighting quartering seas, huh? Encountered our first Three Sisters phenomenon today.
Didn't have time for the camera.
Nope. Rocked and rolled us pretty good. And these 2, 3 foot, maybe 4 foot seas, and 3 big 8-footers came along. I was totally by surprise. I finally got a clear view of the horizon. Didn't pay much attention to it because I was eating cherries. And next thing I knew, I looked over my right shoulder, and that was not the horizon I saw. Those were huge waves. The entrance to Snail Shell Harbor, Fayette. Gonna see a ghost town. A restored ghost town. Partially restored. Hope there's room at the dock. There it is, Fayette, Snail Shell Harbor. Well, so long Fayette, Snail Shell Harbor. Snail Shell Harbor. Oh, that's so hard to say. Got away from the dock this morning, Saturday, June 2nd, a little later than usual, about 7:20. Headed for Escanaba, Michigan. Here's Michi. Say hey, Michi.
Hey, Michi.
Ready to get some sail on her?
Sure.
All right. Boat tidied up, deck swabbed once again. Having encountered the third species of flies mashed all over the decks and in the cockpit, cushions and everything else. We don't even put the cushions out anymore, actually. because they're always covered with dead bugs.
Dead
Right,
bugs.
Meech?
Dead bugs. Lots
Dead
of dead
bugs.
bugs.
So, got the main up, running dead before the wind. Not going to bother with the head sail. We're making about 4 knots right now. It's good enough for where we're going today. She runs well enough, so once we round, what is it, the shoal down here, 11-foot shoal I believe, we'll be able to get a little more sail on her. Be on a reach up the bay, little Bays De Noc. Sailing down big Bays De Noc right now. I forget the name of that bluff over there. Sand Bay over there. And Snail Shell Harbor behind us. Snake Island up that direction, and a bunch of other stuff. We're not going up there this trip. There's Peninsula Point, if it can be seen on this. Running before the wind. Head sail up a little while ago. Which are a little more favorable for it now to run wing and wing. Once we shoot the gap between Corona Shoal and Minneapolis Shoal out here, you can see the light out there maybe. It's a big white lighthouse. And we'll be on a reach. On our way to Escanaba.
And their hometown's on fire.
Oh yeah, we just found out there was a mandatory evacuation due to a fire, and our home is right on the edge of the evacuation area, so don't know if we're going to have a home to go back to. We got that going for us, which is nice.